Hi, my name is Joanie'S. Welcome to my channel. I am a psychic or channel, a medium, a healer, an animal communicator, a medical intuitive, as well as a mentor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please see the disclaimer at the bottom of the description of this video, as well as on my website. And if you're interested in having a session with me, please contact me through my website, Joanie'sWhiteLightHealing.com. It is July 22, 2026. I have yet another subscriber requested video for you. I'm going to bring in my Joanie's words, and then I'm going to put my Joanie aside and bring in the highest of Christ light consciousness, the enlightened ones, to see what Spirit has to say for the collective. If this resonates, great. And if it doesn't, I suggest putting it on the shelf. Save it for a later time. Spirit knows who is watching and when, so the chances are that it probably will resonate with you or someone that you know. And if you don't like it, trash it. It is fine with me. Please like this video. It helps the algorithm so much. Share it if you feel someone else might benefit from it. Subscribe, press the bell all icon. Hopefully you will receive notifications when I put out another video. Comment below regarding whether you have anything to say about this concept. And if you have a request for a theme, not a personal reading, but a theme where I can do something like this format, comment under any video, this one or any that I have done, and I will receive that notification that there's a comment somewhere and there's your request. Okay, so here's the theme. I'm going to read it. What is the benefit of being the black sheep? How do you handle it? So this concept of being the black sheep, or the odd one out, or the scapegoat, or Marilyn in the Munsters. So I'm dating myself regarding the Munsters. Look it up. It's the TV show. Munsters, the Munsters. And Marilyn is the pretty young woman, the teenager, that finds herself in the family of different Munsters or monsters. And it's completely normal to her, yet she's the odd woman out. So whatever the case, the black sheep. I'm going to speak as Joanie first, and then I will do the channeling for more. So regarding this black sheep concept, I'm not even going to pull out definitions for you. I'm just going to be Joanie here. So it's a classic Earth School drama where we incarnate into a group. Usually it's a family, but it might not be our own. We could be in foster care. We could be in an adopted family. We could find ourselves in long-term institution, hospital of some sort, whatever the case, where we are the odd person out, and that it is pretty apparent that the way that you as the black sheep are operating is different from those around you. So we have the family system that operates a certain way, and you're looking around and you're going, where am I? I don't feel like this is the way I operate. And who am I in relation to other? And the others there are more of them than there are of you, they're looking at you and going, who is this one? And what the heck? They don't represent our signature. They're not of the same brand. So let's talk about pre-birth planning. Why would we do that? Why would we come up with this theme of being the odd one out in relation to those around us pretty much from the get-go? So there's a lot of opportunity here. So we have the opportunity as a soul to feel very compressed, eyes on us, blamed, finger pointed, and told that we're broken. Why is that of benefit to have something like that happen? Where's the advantage to that? Well, the advantage is that we come to question the lie, question our reality, and return to knowing our true self. We, I believe, are God's sparks. We are diamonds, rubies, emeralds. We are the ones on high. We are pieces of Creator. And that when we incarnate into a physical reality with anything but that, where we're told that we are not any of these things, it sort of throws us off, doesn't it? So it is the opportunity to remember who we are and to wriggle our way out of the labels and consider rejecting them and giving ourselves that remembrance of the identification that always was, will, and will be. Has, is, and will be, which is, I'm fine. Then you also have judgment. You might have been judgy in a lifetime, and now you're being judged. You might have been judged in another lifetime, and due to karma, blaming self and other, you have to have a do-over, and you're being judged again. Sometimes being a black sheep is where we have the opportunity to show that there is a different path and that the souls around us have the opportunity to accept difference. Now, if the black sheep is playing in the dark and the group is playing in the light, then by being different, it gives the souls many opportunities. Do we surrender? Do we know when to stop? Do we have codependence issues? Do we embrace? Do we name call? Do we squelch? What do we do with the soul that's playing in the dark? Do we set limits? Do we distance ourselves? What do we do? And if the black sheep is playing in the light and the system around that they incarnate into is playing in the dark, then it gives that group the opportunity to see a better way, to see not better than, less than, but a higher vibrational way of operating. And it might mystify them where they haven't spiritually developed, where they could even read the black sheep higher vibration signature, but they're there. They are a beacon, they're an opportunity, they're role modeling something different and higher vibration to consider, moving out of their present lower vibration into something that's happier, more functional. If things aren't, and I'll also add curiosity's sake. Some souls plan to be a black sheep because they haven't done that before, so they want to know what that's about. That in itself is a soul growth opportunity. Hey, I haven't tried that out. I want to see what that's like. I heard that it's something. So they come in that way. They come in different, and they come in a spectacle, a mystery, an annoyance, scapegoat possibility. Now, if things aren't pre-birth planned, the person might find themselves post-incarnation, meaning after birth, free will choice as a black sheep, meaning that with the flow chart of life, with decisions that the path finds themselves with decisions made, and it's not just their decision, it's others as well, that they might find themselves in a situation where they are different from other. It could even be a work situation. I want to throw that in. It's not just family. Usually black sheep is about family and caregivers and such. But you could find yourself as the black sheep in a workplace. You could find yourself as a black sheep in your neighborhood, in your community, in your religious institution, whatever the case, the Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, the PTA or PTO, Parent-Teacher Association, Parent-Teacher Organization. Okay, so you might find that after birth, you find yourself there as well. The same opportunities apply. So is a person who is either planning it or finds themselves there, are they screwed or they're done? Is this just decimate material? Are they just done for? No. So this is a reality. It's an earth school for soul growth opportunity. And no matter whether it's pre-birth planned, the person can evolve. They have the opportunity to evolve. What are the types of evolution, the benefits? How does a soul handle it? First, we'll get to handling. Acceptance is key. Acceptance is key. How does one accept? Well, first they have to identify. They have to know where they are in relation to other. So pulling out of it a little bit and scoping around and seeing, where am I? Where did I land? Who are these people? You need to pull out just a little bit. Am I saying things that make sense? What am I doing? Now, if you are finding that you're a glutton for punishment and you're creating scapegoating, you're creating finger pointing and blame, you have the control. You can do something about it. You can choose to go another path and raise your vibration. It might stop the finger pointing. Sometimes when you raise your vibration, the system around you doesn't like it, and they enjoy the scapegoating and they enjoy the finger pointing. So they might try and shuffle you back into the deck to get you to be the way you used to be. Again, that's an opportunity as well. After you've identified, well, AITA, it's a me thing, it's an I thing. And you shift and you repair and you present more like them, perhaps higher vibration, you might find that there's wait a minute, we needed someone to take the focus off of whatever we have going on. And then you still need to decide, what do I do now? I feel better at this higher vibration. Now, again, if you're in a higher vibration and those around you are playing more in the dark, being aware is key. Now, when you're aware, a lot of times people as human beings go to a state of anger. Underneath the anger is the sadness. Feel the feelings. Judgment is not okay. Judgment incurs karma. You'd have to have do-overs with these folks. So feel your feelings, accept. So awareness, feelings will come up. There could be shock, grief, disbelief, a whole array of experiences. They are on your palette to be chosen, to be experienced, ultimately released. And then to be as present-centered as possible, decisions are made regarding how you move forward, and that every now moment might shift and you do the best you can. No report card on yourself or other. When you start blaming yourself for attempts or blaming them for their reactions and their possibly continued chastising, then you incur karma. So it's best to work through this with grace and ease. Get professional help if you need to. So we've got awareness, feeling the feelings, and acceptance. And then then decisions might be made, or you might sit for a while. You might not do anything. Just the acknowledgement of who you are and where you are, who is in your midst, is such a win. It's so healthy. It's so beneficial. And that is soul growth for many. And then if you move along and you want to go further, is there anything that I need to do for myself? Am I safe? Am I healthy? Am I happy? Is there anything to do? So discernment and perception are things that people work on. And also I would say that serenity prayer is great. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. God, in this case, sounds religious, but I would say more so the oneness. Hey, y'all, all of us, we, I, the I am. Assist me, please, in knowing what is in my control, what isn't. Know your audience. Have you said anything before? What has been the reaction? Do that cost, risk, benefit analysis and make decisions accordingly. How to handle being a black sheep? Well, every person's got their own story, their own journey in this life and other lifetimes combined. So the way one person would manage it is different from another. Some have more strength when they come into this lifetime to be the black sheep than others. Whatever the case, it's to feel grounded, be grounded, feel solid, stable, secure. That is the work to be done. When you work on self, that inside job, to work on issues that remain, issues, problems, you grow, you raise your vibration, you shift, you feel better. And then you start seeing those around you possibly differently. And then every now moment is different as you raise your vibration. If you sink and you go down, you need help. If you don't get professional help, which I highly suggest, journaling, talking to trusted ones. That's what I would say. If you read, find ways to heal if you feel that you're going down. But the goal is to go up. The goal is to know that there are no victims. Doesn't mean that bad is good. And I don't have rose-colored glasses on. It means this is an earth school. This is a reality, a simulation, a movie, an AI that's being liberated as we speak. Curiosity, an angle with adventure, feeling inspired. Wow, I'm a black sheep. I think there are others that say they are too. I'm not alone. This is interesting. Okay. The poor me, the pitying does not work. It tamps down growth. It's human to feel self-pity, but it doesn't mean that it will assist you. Feelings aren't facts. So if it comes up where you're pitying yourself, okay, go ahead, whatever. Do it until you no longer do it because it's to be released. Again, managing it, know who's around you, know that you are there for them and they are there for you. You could also ask yourself, what is this soul there for me? What can I learn from them? So if you find yourself as the black sheep, let's say in the family or in the group, and you identify one soul, what could I learn from this soul? What could they learn from me? That's kind of cool. It kind of concretizes things a bit. And then things can also shift as relationships might shift. So if they're playing in the light and you're playing in the dark, and you're the black sheep because you're the troublemaker, let's say, and they're working at a higher vibration, you could say, what are they there for me? Oh, maybe they're there to show me that I don't have to do this anymore. Now, if they're playing in the dark and you're playing in the light, I've often said, thank you for playing in the dark so I might choose light. There is no judgment that is to be done here. Now, it's human. People judge. Work through that. If you judge yourself and you judge other, you are incurring karma. And that's negative karma we're talking, not good karma. And I believe that one would have to have an arrangement post-incarnation when a person has died and when someone has returned home, and they would have to have a replay with them. Now, if the other soul has forgiven them, then you would have to have an arrangement with another soul in your soul group, probably your soul group, that meets the specs of the theme. Maybe it's someone you have karma with that's around the same theme, or maybe they're willing to play that part for you so you might advance and balance out your karma. That's Joanie. Now I'm going to put Joanie aside, bring in the highest of to see what Spirit has to say regarding this topic. Going in. The first thing Spirit says, there are no musts, shoulds, and have-tos. So grace is very important, to give yourself that grace, that aperture, that spot to be. It feels open and blessed, and grace is extremely important because oftentimes the black sheep feels squished, tamped, branded, victimized, taunted. If you can return to a state of grace in any way, shape, or form during your life where you can admire yourself in all your ways, you're doing a good job. Now, if you haven't or you aren't able to, and there's more of an internal battle, who is in your life that you might be able to squeak by and find and talk to about this, that if you find yourself more locked in a system where you're always the butt of it, people are either always jealous of you or they're always putting you down because of negative stuff that you're doing, and you just stand out as the numbskull, whatever the case. Is there any higher vibrational soul outside of the system that you could find and feel joy and get support from? So Spirit is talking about leaving, not detaching necessarily, but finding a way to get that support, the love, the support where you feel heard. Many black sheep don't feel understood. They are misunderstood. Therefore, it is important to get that help, to get the courage to believe that you are okay. Now, if you're not doing well, not behaving well, you see how I'm not judging, but if you're playing in the lower vibration realm, Spirit isn't saying find others that are doing what you're doing so you can commiserate. Spirit is saying find help so you could learn more about what got you there, what you're doing, how it is to your detriment, so you could learn about the ways that you've been surviving in the negative and that there are possible ways to elevate yourself and play in the light and remain true to yourself and then ultimately feel better. So Spirit is saying, sure, there's a cost for every action, but you don't have to pay a price. So when you're shifting a dynamic within a black sheep family system or an institution, a place, a group, the analysis and then possibly the release or changing might come with a cost. So one would need to also figure that out as well and anticipate that when they question it, maybe speak on it, delete someone or something, move away, that there is a reaction. There's usually horror, or how could you, or what did you do? Why did you do that? I can't believe it. And that some people experience suffering in some way, not to the ultimate, but there's a continuum of suffering. They might just have some sleepless nights, bad dreams, have some guilt, and then other people go into panic and anxiety. So there's the preparation also regarding the cost that one might pay when they consider changing their role after they've identified that they're a black sheep. The must, shoulds, and have-tos need to be addressed. So for many people that find themselves as the Marilyn, that oddball, the black sheep, they feel that they have to follow a script, that somewhere into it they have to behave a certain way, and that is something to be questioned. Well, what are the risks? Oftentimes children who are black sheep, they would pay a very heavy price if they reject the group's dealings, offerings, and dictates, because the child is in need of food, clothing, shelter, and all. So that isn't necessarily something that Spirit would say the child does. We're talking here with the adult, and the adult considers who's around, what's the cost, can I make a move, how long have I complied, is it okay for me to shift, what are the risks if I speak about it, change, leave, distance myself. Very important. I'll see what else Spirit has to say. Again, the must, shoulds, and have-tos, the pressure that there already probably has been pressure on you to be a certain way, maintain your position in that family system as the odd one. And now that, let's hope, that you are aware of your role your position in the group. What musts, shoulds, and have-tos do you tell yourself? And what must, shoulds, and have-tos have they told you? Is complying something you must do? Is the risk too great? If you change and you no longer must, should, have to yourself, and you do it your way, what will happen? That's something to think about. So Spirit wants you to make sure that you're aware of how you put pressure on yourself to maintain the status quo, and or what pressure has been put on you with must, shoulds, and have-tos regarding maintaining the status quo. Being aware is key. See if there's anything more. Spirit ends with, this is a beautiful display of bravery and courage, that being the black sheep, the odd one, the different one, to be unusual in a group where there is more of the conformity, the norm, that takes a lot of courage. So credit yourself for being different. They don't have to understand you. They don't have to know you. The more peace that you have within, the greater the outcome. You are blessed. You are blessed. You are not alone. You are grace. You are courageous. And knowing that this too shall pass will give you a sense of peace. I hope this assisted. I hope this gave you a sense of peace, and that you're identifying as the odd one out doesn't freak you out, doesn't scare you, that it ties you to the oneness, to the collective. You're being of service to yourself and other on a scale that maybe you don't even recognize right now, and that's okay. I support you, and I send you such well wishes. Take care, y'all.